Guys, I'm Guido, pilot to the stars, a mentor extraordinaire, an all-around good guy, and you are here to listen, laugh, cry, and enjoy. 3 out of 4. You should do 3 or 4 of those. I don't know why you would cry. Why are you crying? There's no crying in Pixel Tanks. There's no crying in Pixel Tanks. Take 2. Hey guys, I'm Guido, pilot to the stars, mentor extraordinaire, and all-around good guy. And you are here to listen, laugh, cry, and enjoy yourself. Not like that. Stop. Take 3. The rap version. No, that's not the rap version. Not the sing song. Maybe the sing song. Hey guys, I'm Guido, pilot to the stars, mentor extraordinaire, and all-around good guy. This does not rhyme. It doesn't rhyme. It doesn't flow. And you are here to listen, laugh, cry, and enjoy. You have to say that really fast. It was listen, laugh, and cry. Listen, laugh, and enjoy. Enjoy, cry, laugh, listen, cry, cry, cry. I don't know. Hey guys, I am Guido, pilot to the stars, mentor extraordinaire, and all-around good guy. And you are here to listen, laugh, cry, and enjoy.
Hey guys, I am Guido, pilot to the stars, mentor extraordinaire, and all-round good guy, and you are here to listen, laugh, cry, and enjoy. Click the play button to hear the sentence spoken out loud.
Oh, jeez.
You can change this text to whatever you want.
Well, I tried. We'll keep working on it. It's a work in progress. You guys said that was the best one, so I think you're having one over on me there. All right. Are you joking me? I think you're joking me. All right. Channel news. I have the Barosque. Here it is. The new Tier 8 French medium tank. I was about to call it a light tank. Well, it is a light tank, but it's classified as a medium in the game. So the new Tier 8 medium tank for the French that you can get on the marathon. Currently, I am at about stage 2 or so. We'll talk about it when we get to missions and specials. But of course, as a CC, I already have one. There is a review out, so check that out. I also have a review come out this week for the IS-3 version 2. So if you're thinking about the double-barreled tanks, I have a quick review for the IS-2 version 2. I may just leave it at quick review because I don't have the heart to go back and play it and get some more examples. So I hope, I don't know, what do you guys like? Do you like the longer review or do you like the shorter, quick review idea? I bet some people are going to say both. I don't know if I really have time to do both every time a new tank comes out, but we'll see. Just kind of curious. I get a lot of comments about the reviews being way too long. Whatever, it's kind of my thing. I sort of enjoy making them. But that's sort of self-indulgent. So I don't know. We'll see. Let's get some feedback from you guys. See what you like, what you don't like, and then I'll ignore it from there. That's how we roll around here. I ask you what you like, and then I just do whatever the heck I want. Next stream will be Tuesday, the 25th. Yes, Tuesday, the 25th. Should be from 9 to 12. Soft schedule, as always, with my act, because I never know what's going to pop up. And that's pretty much it. I've been featuring the Barosque, doing okay in it. We're at 1,000 experience, 55% win rate at 38 battles with 1,900 damage, which is actually, for me, slightly high for a Tier 8 medium. It seems to be pretty darn good. We'll talk a little bit about the rollout because it got kind of funny, but that's pretty much it. I think for channel news, I don't have a whole lot to say there. Some things I'm thinking about doing in the future. I'm going to do some interviews. Been meaning to get that together. I've already got a couple of the other CCs who are interested in that. So we'll do some interviews with CCs, asking questions, things like that. So we'll see how that goes. Still planning on doing some more DCS. I may do a follow-up for the Darkest Dungeon game I played. Just because that one's kind of interesting because it's a nice change of pace. And you don't have to grind it very much, really. You could if you wanted to. But I just go there, I play one for 15, 20, 30 minutes, and then I move on. And it's been interesting for that. The other thing about that game that I'm doing, I know this is tanks, I'm sort of going off on a tangent right off the bat. It's what I do, it's standard. But I'm trying to figure out what is... I hear noises. I think there's a bird or something on the outside there. I should edit that out, but I'm not going to, because that's how we go. Where was I? Darkest Dungeon. What was I talking about? Oh, The other thing I'm doing with that is I'm not looking anything up. I'm not going to the internet and looking for spoilers. I'm just trying to actually figure it out on my own. And it's interesting because it's a game where your characters and heroes die a lot, and it matters. Obviously, you'd like to do it without that happening, but it just happens. There's a lot of RNG and randomness in it. So I'm just gonna go with the flow on that one, which is something a little different for me. All right, that's enough channel news stuff and talking about games other than World of Tanks. Let's go ahead and move on to Missions and Special. Time for the Shill Nation. The Shill Nation. Here we go. What do we got? What is on sale? Well, the Brusque is on sale. Remember that you're playing probably for a discount. So obviously you don't want to buy it unless you just want to buy it outright. And then as you do the... Actually, as you do the missions, it won't matter. If you buy it outright, you get all the goodies with it because it's a big package, so to speak. Here at $60, I have a discount already. Looks like it's just standard discount. And there are no coupons available for it. Wow. So for me right now, it's $60, which is kind of steep. But I've only done 2 stages. See, challenge stage 2. It will modify per your stage and tell you what your current cost is. I'm at a 20% discount. I don't know. I think if you get to about 50%, you're probably in the ballpark for a tier 8 medium, and it's a pretty good one, and you're getting other goodies with it. So to taste, my friends, to taste. Obviously, you've got to decide whether you have that kind of extra coinage in your pocket. All right. No Cape Heroes and Masked Avengers. Oh, man, they're selling the 252U again. Son of a... Why is it not the Defender? Wouldn't the... Wait a minute. Is that the Defender? Oh, it does. Yep, it says Defender. Never mind. I was biting off on the 252. So the painted versions, the non-painted versions. Get it? They're actually selling the painted versions for more. Are they really? Has that always been a thing? Oh my gosh. That's... Look, guys, just buy this one. That's incredible. Aren't they the same gold price? Like, if you sold it, won't you get the same price for it? When did that happen? Has that always been? Wow. Should we get bogged down on that? Let's bog. Let's bog right now. That is apropos, because we're going to... Just hold your horses. We're going to get there on this skin thing, because my goodness gracious, there's some shenanigans. Pike style is $12, friends. A 3D style for a tier 8 is $12. See what I'm saying? We're going to even get better than that, though. Later in the thing, just hold your horses. Hold your horses. There's the Barrage Challenge. What do you get with this? I don't know. All the special things that you get while you go through the missions themselves. 3D style. That's actually pretty cool. I do like the style for the Brusque. There's some credits involved. There's lots of directives. Is there equipment? Yes, there's coated optics, vertical stab, and vents. That is probably the best setup for that. Check out my review of it. And some personal reserves. So, you know, standard comments apply there. The fact that I don't really consider some of those things worth much monetarily. Certainly not as much as Wargaming thinks they're worth. But that's, you know, they make the prices and then they either sell or don't. So you have to assume they adjust from there. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to sell you a $12 3D skin. Woo! $12. Looks like the Lion, the Louvre, the Low is still out there. I do like that skin. Do they just sell the skin? There it is. Oh, it's $15. Wait, what? Why is Why is this tier 8 skin $12.63 and this one is $14.99? What are these pricing conventions? Are they actually going off some kind of hours required to build them? I mean, they might be, and that's not a bad idea necessarily. But wouldn't you just find a standard price point for tier 8 heavy tanks? Also, why is a heavy tanks usually more than a medium tanks? I don't get it. I sort of understand when you're talking about the tank itself, but not really. I mean, I guess in theory the heavy tank's supposed to be, you know, the better premium, but is it really? Because medium tanks are kind of the meta anyway. It's weird. It's a strange discussion, isn't it, guys? I haven't figured it out yet. What is in their mind? What is in their mind? I do not know. Jackpot. What the? Fit. $120 for 15,000 gold. Whoa! Holy macaroni! 15,000 gold. What is that? Is that $50? Something like that. And then another $50 in. Wow. Wow, this is interesting. These are interesting offerings we have here. Goodness gracious, that is really expensive for 15,000 gold and 10,000 credits, especially when you can make credits hand over fist. But there you go. We've got the times fives and things. Nothing else really to note right there. These specials in gold, quite a bit actually. A lot of package stuff with the gold in here. A lot of stuff packaged with silver and whatnot. So nothing to add there. Premium account. There was nothing really I wanted to talk about there. And we got vehicles. And these are all the things. The starter pack is still out there. I just did a video on this Schmaltrum. I didn't realize it was still being sold. It is exclusive to me for some reason. Whatever it is that I have that's made it exclusive. And nothing else really to add, guys. I think that's pretty much it. Just some strange pricing conventions. Or amounts, I guess. Not necessarily conventions, but amounts. Kind of blew my mind. Okay, that's the shilling. I didn't shill very well today. Some of those were hard to stomach. They really were, to be quite honest. The price points on some of those were kind of insane. All right, let's look at the missions. And hold on. This is more interesting because as I went away, I was switching over to the next thing, and I went, wait a minute. Can you buy the Defender and the STG alone? Well, you can. But here's what I just noticed, which you may have already noticed. For some reason, the No Cape Heroes is actually a 30% discount. These are priced the same. Look at the standard price, $86.51. It's probably somebody's already typing right now. Guido, you're la, 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 la. Anyway, but the discount's different. Same question applies. Why is there a bigger discount? Assuming it's because of the paint job. But yet, when they're alone, they're the same price. Same thing for the Defender and the Object. They're the same price. So, for some reason, which will probably remain unknown, if you buy the two unpainted ones, you get a deeper discount than the two painted ones. But if you buy them alone, there's no discount. No discount for you. Ah, boy. Okay, let's move on. I am Guido, pilot to the stars. I'll tell you, it can't be me that thinks that's weird, right? Is it just me? Am I just the crazy person here? I don't know. Tank University missions, heavy tanks. It's a code, my friends. Click it. And ticket. No, click it and like, wait a minute, what? Oh, they're all here. I didn't realize did they just all stay there? They must have all stayed there. All right. Whew. Starts on February 22nd. That was yesterday day. Heavy Tank 101, 201, 301, and you get the kits again. It's the 5 large kits of each kind. It's 1,000 damage from less than 100, 1,000, destroy heavy tank, and block. Oh, for frick's sake. Please, Wargaming, please stop with the bouncing missions. Do you get experience for blocking damage? I'm just asking the developers this question, because I'm pretty sure you don't. So why in the F would you make a requirement in your game for something that even you don't think affects experience? What are you doing? Stop with the blocking. It makes people play completely counter at many times, in many instances, to winning the game. I know the idea is that you're a heavy tank, and as part of your heavy tanking, you tank, which means you block damage. But making it a measurement of some kind for a mission forces people to prioritize stupid gameplay. This is more of something that just kind of happens as you go, and if you're good, you can make it happen more. Ideally, though, you don't get shot at or hit. That's kind of the big one there. The blocking things have to go. All these different kinds of mission things. We're going to touch on another one in a minute. All the different kind of mission things that aren't directly attributable. I think that's the right word. That do not directly affect experience have to go because they're bad. They're bad for the game. They're bad for gameplay. These are stupid. I'm just coming down. That's dumb. All right. Then the heavy tank exam, which I thought was interesting because the TDs had to destroy 100 tanks, right? And somehow heavy tanks only have to destroy 50. I think, as a general rule, heavy tanks get more kills in games than TDs, don't they? I wonder if they just decreased it this week because they found out the 100 was kind of steep, and I thought it was. Isn't that right? Because it was for tank destroy 100, right? No, it was 50,000 damage and destroy 100. Oh, it was even worse. Oh, golly. Wow. All right. Trying to do the math on how many kills per 1,000 damage, and that doesn't really work out very well, does it? It looks kind of silly. All right, so there you go. So get your heavy tank thing going on. The rewards Wargaming are fantastic. Thank you. I like it. It needs a little tweaking. Blocking missions have a special place in hell, as far as I'm concerned. But maybe that's just me. Mardi Gras is going on this weekend, fellas. I hope you've been on top of it because you will get some decent paint. Green, purple, and yellow. I don't know how many people use that. I did, though. I actually have a Barney tank. Maybe I'll show that to you a little while later. I turned the T103 into a Barney tank on one of my streams in a rather silly moment. It was a bit of levity. Jocularity, if you will, was in order, so we made a Barney tank. So we'll get to this in the UI. You've got to do a few things. It's not that hard to do. I should finish mine today pretty easily. And 2 of the missions are just play a game. Yeah, play a battle and you get 6. Play a battle and you get 10. Play a battle. I don't think that's quite right. We'll take a look at it in the UI. Those numbers don't sound right to me, but if you played any yesterday, more than likely you can finish it today if you play some. We'll talk about it when we get there. We really have to dig around to find all this stuff. We'll get to the Brass Challenge in a moment. Actually, I might want to... Is there something I want to talk on this? I don't think. This goes to March 2nd. So you got about another week. This was the first weekend. There it is. The 3D style is pretty cool. You can see it in action right here. Got some extra kit on the tank. It's white. Got this extra rack on the back. All that good stuff. So pretty cool. Here's all the stages. We'll get to that when we get into the UI. I think that was pretty much it. All right. That's all I wanted to talk about there. What else we got? Missions-wise. All right, let's go over here to the Progetto 65 mission stuff, which I thought was pretty interesting, actually. So this is the on-track, and they've got these 2. I don't remember seeing this before. If they had this, I'd missed it, but it's a booster kind of thing for the on-track. But of course, it's behind a paywall. They want you to pay some money. I don't know, $5, not too bad. You get some emblems. You get some camouflage. It's not a bad price for these things. 3 camouflage is about enough to camo 1 tank. So you've got about 3 tanks worth of camo, or 9 tanks if you just want to put it on the hull. Because that's all that matters for your camo rating. You know, if you're the budget kind of guy, then that might work. And then you got the $12 version, which has 14 days of premium and 9 personal reserves with the plus 50% credits. 14 days of premium is $9 and some change or so. So for another $4, $3 or $4, you get some reserves and then the rest of these things. So it's a slightly better deal than the $5 one, depending on how you want to add the discount in. The interesting thing to me was these paid ×5 missions. Again, something I didn't realize was there, and if it's escaped me if it's been there before. But I think it's new, or if it's not brand new, it's got to be relatively new. But you've got all these ×5 missions for each tank. So the 1441, the 1542, the 2640. The wording is a little bit silly. There's a win condition, I believe. The reason I say it's silly is because it says be one of the top 10 XP earners on your team in 3 victorious battles. Usually they use the word win, but now they've switched to victorious. Sometimes when I lose, I feel victorious because I had such a good game. But I'm pretty sure this is a win condition. Doesn't matter how you feel. Feelings, nothing more than... Now, what I don't quite get here is it appears, it says mission 1, mission 2 for each tank. You can see it's all the way up to the M40. Wait a minute, guys. Why would you have a ×5 for the last tank? Is there anything to unlock in the last tank? Why do you do this? The kind of thing. What is there? Maybe there's a gun. I don't know. We'll look at it. I'm not sure if there's maybe something to unlock on that thing. Anyway, that's just another weirdness on there. Is this? There you go. Bonus progression. Again, there's more ×5s. But you get these goodies too. All right. I really got bogged down right there. So what it says is earners on your team in 2 victorious battles. Does that mean you have to... It works twice? The first daily doesn't count. We knew that. That's how those ×5s work. I think it's... You get this twice. And then for the second mission, you get it 3. For a total of 5, that's kind of what it sounds like to me. Or does it mean you have to do this twice, and then you get ×5 on the second one? It's not worded very well. I don't actually understand. I would hope that it basically means 5 ×5s. Why they had to break it into 2 missions, I don't know. That's why I'm a little concerned that it might mean win 2 and get the ×5, and then win 3 and get the ×5, as opposed to have total of 5 ×5s. If so, that's not worth a whole bunch. If it's 5 of them, that's pretty good. But again, overkill. You're never going to need 5 ×5s for the 1441. You're probably not going to need 5 ×5s until you get to tier 5 or 6, right? All those low tiers, you're gonna with a ×5, you might finish the tank in 1. It's just there's no concept really of how it works to me a lot of times with the way they put these things together. I'm pretty sure a lot of times what's put together is by they might be a player, but they're not a very serious player, right? They don't know that much about it. They're just kind of very, very casual. Because a lot of this makes not a lot of sense. Not a lot of sense. Anyway, so there you go. Very strange. I wanted to cover that, but it's out there. If anybody's doing that or has bought that package, please let us know down below how that's working, because that's very confusing to me on how that's supposed to work. All right. Frontline is coming. Stage 1, you're going to see that on March 9th to March 16th. So it will be back. It's going to be shorter. It will only have 4 stages this time. What's cool about it is you've got 2 new Tier 9 tanks to get. The Char Future 4 and the Object 777 Variant 2. Russian heavy tank and another medium tank for the French. Reward tanks, not premiums, but pretty cool. You can earn 2 tanks. So if you didn't get the AE Phase 1 last time, then you can earn 2 of these things. In which case you'll have all 3. If you didn't earn the A Phase 1, you can only get enough points for 2 of whichever 2 of the 3 you would like right there. The airstrike was reworked. The respawn selection system has been slightly reworked as well. There's been some rebalancing stuff on the maps that I covered last week. Looks like there'll be a tank rental as well. And that's pretty much it. All right, cool. But I think we covered everything I want to do. We got the fast track, Mardi Gras, Frontline's coming. And we're going to jump over to the UI and talk about the Brusque challenge here. Correct. Stand by. Okay. A mighty wind, or whatever it means for this thing. Missions. You can see that I'm working on stage 3. So I've only actually done 5,000 plus 5. That's 10,000. And so I've only really done 12,000 base experience yesterday. I played a bit. I streamed some, but I didn't really hit it very hard. So we got about 3 stages out of the way for about 13,000, which in a day, that's going to be good enough to get me in a day. That won't even get me past that. So if I average 13,000 a day, I wouldn't even come close to finishing it. I want to say it's about 24,500 total somewhere around 25,000 base experience a day. I did the math. Some people are saying about 40 battles a day for a decent player. I think if you're averaging about 500 experience a game, which is quite high actually. It does count on losses, but you have to be top 10. 500 is pretty good for me as well, but that's around 50 battles a day, give or take 10 or so, depending on your skill. I think if you said, all right, it's 50 battles a day, if I'm good, I can probably neck it down to maybe 40. If I'm not so good, I may end up doing 60 or so. Then that's the ballpark. That's a lot. That's a lot. And that's to finish the whole thing completely outright. There are missions for mastery. The first 3 were very easy. I didn't try them. I didn't even play any tier 10s the other day. I maybe played one. I don't think I even played one. But the first one, it was cause 2,800 and be in the top 3. Relatively easy. Earn 800 points base experience 2 times. Relatively easy. Cause at least 4,300 in damage. These are all only for tier 10. Okay, relatively easy. You just have to do that once. But it starts to ramp up right here because now you've got the top player in 5 battles. I could probably get to 17,000 much faster than I ever was top player 5 times. There are players out there who will burn through these mastery missions. So if you're that good, you're in good shape for the mastery missions. Otherwise, you can... one option here is to just play tier 10s, and if you knock that out, great. If you don't, then you get to your experience thing and then move on. So there you go. Brusque challenge. What else we got going on over here? We go back to missions. Mike's still going tournament missions. We don't need to look at that. Here's the semester thing. Here's the other thing I wanted to talk about. No, that was the block mission. That's not the one I wanted to talk about. Watt Salute is still going on. That's for the veteran stuff. Tank rewards. Actually, I didn't realize this is still dragging on. We got to the 26th, so 3 more days to finish that thing up. I didn't talk about it earlier, but make sure that you are paying attention to that. It's what's the place called? It's called. My brain just stopped here. It is called Tank Rewards. There we go. TankRewards.com. Very easy. TankRewards.com. Love is a battlefield. Make sure you go there and click on your goodies and get them. There's the Mardi Gras thing. Oh, this is the one I want to talk about. It's the same thing as the block mission. They have 2 missions here: Street Brawl and Throws for the Crowd. I sort of get it. It's a range, right? You're throwing stuff, and Street Brawl is close. The point, though, is that these kind of arbitrary do damage at X meters thing is another thing that doesn't have a whole lot to do with winning or losing the game, to be quite honest. Damage is damage. 300, 301, 500, 6,007, 2 light years. It doesn't really matter. It's just damage. So it's irritating to me, really, when they split them apart like that. I get it. It's a bit of flavor for Mardi Gras. I understand what they're doing with it. My point of it is, from a gameplay standpoint, arbitrary and arbitrary and I'm going to say useless is not the word I'm looking for, but conditions thrown on top of it for no real reason that don't really support the game or gameplay, those are irritating. That being said, wow for me. What happens here is you're going to get a token, and you can do 2 of these. So that's 2 tokens. And then you can do 2 of these. That's 4 tokens. That's why the 10 token thing didn't make sense to me. So as you can see, I am up to, and you got to click on multiple things. It's irritating. Oh, that must have been the total you needed. Now I'm tracking. You need 10 tokens to get this thing. I thought for sure I had 6 tokens. Why? What just happened here? Oh, I see 4 of 6. Okay. So I got yesterday 4 of 6. So I should knock this thing out. What does this go to? The 24th. Interesting. How did I get so far behind? I did all these yesterday. How do you get the extra token? I can get 4 more tokens. How do I... Wait a minute. How do I possibly get 10 if I can only get 4 a day? Oh, it's twice. It's 2. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. What's going on? Do I get a token if I finish one of them? I've clearly missed something here. I'll have to dig into this a little bit. Maybe I'll come back to you later. I don't see right now how I get 10 tokens. Math says Oh, did I miss a day? Oh, I missed the day. Friday. That's right. My internet crapped. Oh, I'm not going to finish it. That's a bummer. It started on Friday. Well, there you go. That's the math in public part. Oh, big tears. I'm only going to get these. I'm not going to get these. The Babe. Oh, that's okay. A mask I'll never put on anything, and a hat. Okay, good. Don't care. I'll take the Barney. I'll take the Barney paint though. All right, there you go. See how we just work through these things together. I didn't notice that yesterday. Then I'm thinking, how am I ever going to get those? But okay. Friday was a bust for me because of my ISP. Let's see. Close this off. Multipliers for on track. Here's those things. Maybe there's some SA in here. Win a battle. Well, at least it's there. So that makes sense. It is win a battle. And I can do that with this one once, but where's the second mission? It's not even on there right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 tiers. That makes sense. No sense for having it on tier 1. And how many times a day can I do this? Once. Oh, right. These are the standard ones. These are the standard ones, not the bot ones. I didn't buy them. So once you buy them, I'm assuming it throws the rest of them in there. So that's what's going on there. All right. Other missions, that's the ×5s and stuff, and then your standard premium. All right, cool. There you go. There you go. I think that's all the missions and specials and stuff. Let's get to subjects du jour. Good stuff here. All right, I said we'd get to some fun part here. So 1.8 is on its way, and it apparently has some skins with it, which is cool. So we've got, that's the Clan Wars. So there's a Clan Wars reward skin coming. That's part of Clan Wars, not 1.8, although it might be in that patch. I don't know. 1.8 Camo Links of History. We have 1.8 Camo Trail in History, which is actually, oh, they've shown it on the 279 early. I'm sorry, it's not for the 279 early. It's for anything. That's how you got to kind of track these things. It's sometimes a bit difficult. Sometimes it's a camo that can be applied to anything. Sometimes it's an actual 3D. Sometimes it's just a 2D for a specific tank, and it can't be taken off. Ah! Anyway. 3D style Fluffy for the Object 277. That's 1.8 3D style, and this is what's confusing me a little bit. But then we've got the 1.8 3D style for the Borosk, which I have. Look at this price point. This is what I wanted to talk about. 3,500 gold. It gets better. All right, we're not done yet there, baby, because look at the tier 10 price point. 6,000 gold. 6,000 gold, folks. And to be honest, I've already forgotten how much that is. So hold on, we're going to find out. I want to say it was $27 or some such insane thing. This comes from Watt Express, which is the Russian leak site, the big Russian blog where all the big news usually comes out first. It's the one that the EU and RU CCs leak to constantly, or employees or whoever the hell is doing that every single time we have anything come out, because they are looking for clicks. I'm calling them out now. 27.75, dudes, almost 30 bucks for a skin. Again, that comes from Watt Express, so it's, I don't know. It's not in the game, so who knows if that's the actual price point. That could be a placeholder that they've put in. But if you look at the tier 8s being 12 bucks or 15 or whatever it was, that's not beyond the realm of possibility that for some reason they think the tier 10 3D skins are worth almost $30 for a skin. I mean, it makes sense to that because they're saying 3,000 for the Borosk, 3,500, sorry. So, 3,750 for a tier 6 skin. So how does that work? This one's tier 6. So maybe it's not. Maybe it's just according to the man hours it took to make the skin. And the cooler, more intricate the skin is, the more it costs. I got it. That's kind of how you do it in business. You have to price something at a price point that takes into consideration your cost. I don't even know what to say if that's what it costs to just build a 3D skin. I say just build. I do understand it takes artistry, it takes skill, it takes knowledge, it takes schooling. It doesn't just appear out of thin air. But my God, those prices are absolutely insane. And wouldn't you want to sell like 3 to 10 times as many at a lower price point to recoup your money rather than gouge players for that much money for a skin for a tank. I don't even know if we spent that much on the KV2. What was the KV2? What was the cost of the KV2R? It had a skin on it. It had an intricate skin, right? But it wasn't that much. It was a tier 6 heavy. Anyway, I don't know. I'd love to talk to somebody actually about this. Maybe I'll try to dig into that and see if I can't get some kind of... that would be interesting one day to talk to one of the monetization guys and not attack them or anything, but just have a interview or something to kind of discuss some of this stuff and get some of the background on the price points for these things if they're allowed to say it. Because I know I come down on it a lot because it seems a little bit insane to me. But maybe, I just live in an alternate reality and they're worth that much somewhere to someone. I don't think so, but it's possible. All right, so Battle Pass. I have been trying to figure this thing out. I watched a video by Ikibu. It's a little bit vague to me. The one thing, I think I said it yesterday, I said it last week where I talked about it, and there was a thing in one of the articles that said you could pay gold to boost your Battle Pass thing. The one thing I did like what Ikibu mentioned in the video I watched is he said that there won't be better or different rewards behind a paywall, but there will be more of the rewards behind a paywall. So if you buy the premium Battle Pass, which all of a sudden now we've got another kind of premium. But if you spend your gold to use your gold that you've got in theory mountains of, they mentioned that. Can we just sidebar a little bit again on that one, because we keep hearing from them. Probably the third or fourth time I've heard it in different videos about how players want something to use their gold on because they have mountains of it for Christmas. I don't know, is that true? Maybe. I mean, I have a lot, but I'm a CC and I have that because of the generosity of Wargaming. Thank you very much. But I use it during the year to do all these things in support of being a CC. So to me, I consider it a sort of stipend, an in-game stipend, which ultimately doesn't cost them much. I'm going to say much because I'm not a believer of it's all just free. They just generate it. They do have to manage their economy by not making it a complete disaster. At the same time, you have to be careful about trying to overmanage game economies because players kind of decide that to a large extent. So it's a tricky thing. It really is. On the one hand, it's a very kind of insular, closed network of an economy. And on the other hand, it can be very free-flowing within that insular economy between players and what players believe is important or worth spending their money and gold on. So there you go. But for whatever reason, they've got it in their mind, and it may be very true that players out there want something to spend all this gold on it. And this is an example of them attempting to do that. So while it's not a direct monetization, it kind of is, right? Because you did pay. On the other hand, it's a good point that I've also heard made that once you purchase the gold, it's not like you're gonna convert that to money. It's not coming back. So you conceivably, theoretically bought the gold, or whatever it was that got you the gold, to get in-game stuff. So they're giving you opportunities. All right, fair enough. And the fact that there's not specialized stuff behind the paywall, just more, makes sense to me. I got no problem with that. So this will be interesting to see how this comes out and goes. That they've got some emblems and reward. Badges. We don't need no stinking badges. Blah blah. I don't know, man. I'm a gamer. I get it. There are certain badges and things in the game that I like, typically having to do with performance in the game, not because I finished some Battle Pass season. I don't care. But anyway, somebody spent time and did that. There's an emblem. It's okay. Decal inscription. I'm sort of a little bit more interested in decals and inscriptions really than emblems. I like the bigger graphics. You know why? Because I can't see these things in the middle of a battle. If I see a guy with a big rollout come by or the big dragon or something, I notice that. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Little decals and antlers or whatever, I don't see it. I'm too busy playing the game, so they're not worth that much to me. These are worth more to me. Okay, so 3D Pike style, we talked about that. There's some unique commanders coming with the Battle Pass stuff. In the Battle Pass, you can get one of two unique commanders. You have this feller, George Barton, UK only. And then you have Vasily Badev, only for the Soviet Union. Graduated with honors from the Royal Armored Academy as the best cadet in his class. He was a good shot. He set a school record for shooting at moving targets from a long distance. Okay. Was he able to get 1,000 damage from 300 meters at will? I bet he was. He finished those missions every time. He has a huge knowledge of the specifications of most modern tanks. Well, I thought we were driving World War II tanks, or are we talking we're set back in time? I don't know. Skillfully uses his knowledge in battle, calm and balanced. No disciplinary penalties. I love the translations. They're one of my favorite things about this game. No disciplinary penalties. He has not had to walk any. What are they called? Just escaped me. What do you do at the academies? Anyway, Vasily. He's an exceptionally vicious and temperamental military man. So he's just a complete asshole, and he's probably not built for military service because he's vicious and temperamental. But okay, could there be any worse or stupid stereotype? Is this a historical figure and he was known for this? I don't know. Born and raised in a tank unit. He was the immaculate tanker conception. He actually shot out the exhaust pipe of a tank one day. Covered in grease and oil. He had a tanker helmet in one hand and an APCR shell in the other. He copes. Wait a minute. Hold on. This does not track. He's exceptionally vicious and temperamental, yet he copes perfectly with any combat situation. I'm sorry, fellas, those don't go together. They don't. They don't really. Unconventional actions give him an advantage on the battlefield. All right, so I'm having too much fun with this. I love these translations. They're my favorite. John LaGrasse. This one was good. He's an ex-New Orleans police officer. Boredom and monotony made him leave the service. Dude, if there's one thing being a cop in New Orleans it's boring and monotonous. He maybe wanted to join the military to get less action, I think. Fortunately, former friends helped him find an interesting job. Ooh, that's dark and mysterious. David Ikibu. All right, this is the guy that's over in EU. I think he's their community manager guy over in EU. Experienced tank man with a soft voice. I don't know. Did he do tanks? Maybe he was a tank guy. Which you can associate with the video series Tank Academy or Stream. If not, be sure to check it out. Now this is an advertisement. This isn't going to age well. Let's say in a year or two, David Ikibu has gone off to a new job or moved somewhere else in the company. This little description is not going to really be very valid, is it? Cornelius Durden. Life is strange and full of twists and turns, and now Her Majesty's former gardener. I don't know, is that a historical figure? Was there actually a former gardener of Her Majesty? Help us out, Pilgrim. Help us out, Brits. Is this a thing? See, you can tell I've really done my research for today. I'm just kind of freewheeling it here. If you want to know his story, ask him in one of the Irish pubs. Well, he's kind of a cartoon, and since we can't interact with these guys in the game, I'm not going to know his story ever at all because I don't know. I can't talk to him. All right, that's enough of that shit. Oh man, that was fun stuff. So we talk skins, we talk battle pass rewards. There's other rewards, by the way, not just these pretty funny skins and stuff. I'm sort of looking forward to battle pass. I will be interested to see how it goes. I thought The other thing I read somewhere, and I thought it was a replacement for rewards for merit. That's what I thought it was advertised at first, but then I saw some information that it's in addition to. So that remains to be seen. I honestly do not know. All right, let's move. Okay, Sandbox, New Balance test results. They've made some decisions and changed some things. In general, the lower tier hit point thing is probably going through at this point, and the changes in the tech tree and moving some things around, taking some out, and making them collector vehicles is going to happen. I had a question on which ones those are. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. But let's cover the kind of things that are or are not happening. As of right now, tons of negative feedback. You remember last week we went through this quite a bit, and I sort of got on their case about this whole thing. So feedback, questions, doubts. The tested complex rebalance raised several reasonable doubts and questions. Yeah, you think? Shell and HP pool rebalance. So basically that one is on the back burner. It's been, I wouldn't say it's canceled, but it's not really being looked at, or it's being changed potentially. So there you go. Questions. These are all the questions we all had, and I don't know. Initially, I would say if you didn't have these questions when you went in, then you were doing it wrong. I assume they did have these questions in their mind, but they're just kind of articulating it. But how will this impact gameplay? Obviously, it's stupid. Clearly, that was the question. Will vehicles at the bottom of the team list have an even harder time in battle? Will Tier 8 fight against Tier 10 vehicles with the same level of performance? The answer, of course, is no. That's why they canceled it. Which vehicles will become more relevant in the new system and which ones less relevant? All right, we're getting to something here that's very, very important, and I think is probably one of the main points. I don't think that the main point here is that this was a bad idea, which I thought it was. That's part of it, but hold on, stick with me. So just remember that. What will happen to vehicles with low penetration values for standard stock like the T69, T44? Well, theoretically, what would happen, fellas, is I would hope you would increase it so that you could, balance your game. That one to me is kind of weird. Yes, it's a question. It is something that would have to be addressed, but it's not like it's the impossible dream. It's not like, oh my God, what are we going to do? They have low penetration. It's pixels, dude. You just increase the penetration a little bit. Which actually goes back to what the real answer is, which is to decrease the penetration of gold rounds across the board and quit having such wildly different penetration values. But anyway, we won't go into that again. Here's the one I was talking about. How will everything impact premium vehicles? I think right there you finally kind of got to the meat of it. Obviously impacting gameplay, and will the tier thing be a problem? Also, which vehicles will become more relevant? Those are all important. But then you throw in the idea of people complaining that their pet premium tank is no longer viable. Uh-oh. See what's going on there, fellas? That's very interesting. And to be honest, I kind of missed it myself. I didn't really think about it. Because I think we all looked at it and went, well, this is across the board rebalance. Good of the game. Let's work on rebalance. But if you shift the meta value of somebody's favorite heavy tank, say the Defender, or whatever the premium tank du jour is, the Progetto, whatever the popular tanks they sell are, ooh, you done messed up now, Ron. So we'll see. Changes to HE. Somehow, and I'm not sure how, because I wasn't in there. However they mech'd it wasn't working. So they've scrapped that for the moment. I think they've just taken it back to the drawing board. And you know what? It's a test. Get the data figured out. Maybe they'll come up with a better idea. I completely support their endeavors, obviously, in that case. The tested SPG, this one absolutely cracked me up. It just... The test, I have to laugh. How did you not know this, first of all? The tested SPG rebalance makes sense only in conjunction with shell rebalance. Valid. That's not what I'm laughing about. We'll return to SPG rebalance once a new solution for the shell rebalance is crafted. One thing is certain. This is what cracked me up. Armor-piercing shells ended up ineffective and undesirable in the current shell paradigm. Dude, the stupid things are too inaccurate to use AP. The idea that you would put AP in there and that's some kind of really interesting or new thing. Yeah, they used to have them, and it was there was memes created when an AP shell penetrated you, but the stupid things are so inaccurate. I mean, talk about the worst kind of RNG slot machine. Never mind the HE thing with a blast radius. Try to actually directly hit with some of the SPGs out there with an AP shell, and then work the whole did it penetrate thing RNG. Oh my God, it was a joke back then. It's a joke now. It's too inaccurate. They don't work. There's a very limited amount of tanks that it can work with, SPGs that it can work with, and they tend to be either very quickly firing or accurate or both. So that they actually sometimes, when you pull the slot machine handle, they actually hit. And then, like I said, never mind the fact that now I got to do angles and all the calculations because it's coming down from above and it might bounce off the side or a weird angle or whatever. I don't know, man. Did you not know that? The only way that the AP makes sense is you make the SPGs much more accurate and you bring the damage in line with something at its tier and it doesn't have this massive hard-hitting fist. And then you have the question of, well, if I do that, then they reload so slow that they're ineffective DPG-wise. I mean, it's a big mess. It's a big mess because also at the very beginning, the general mechanic is bad because it's just lobbing stuff at anywhere in the map. Oh man. Okay, whatever. That's neither here nor there. It's scrap for the moment. I would expect it comes back. They confirmed some hypotheses. So this is what I was talking about. They are going to keep the tech tree changes. We'll talk about that in a minute. They are going to increase the durability for low tier vehicles. That one doesn't affect me too much. Although it is interesting that it goes to tier 6. So my tier 6 tank's going to get a few more hit points. And that will make them more effective against 7s and 8s to some extent. This may be kind of a stealth public test of the hit point changes. I think it's probably a good idea. Do it with these tiers and watch tier 6 to 8 and see what goes on there with that. Not a bad idea. And I wonder if they've done that consciously or they just went, we like it down there, so we're just going to do it. But hopefully they're going to watch that closely and see what the dynamic is and the change in gameplay at those tiers, and especially where the tiers cross, because tier 6s will see 8s and 8s aren't getting increases and stuff. That will be interesting. So slightly stronger tier 6s going against 7s and 8s could be very interesting because the 7s and 8s aren't getting any kind of buff. That's been scrapped. Several solutions were spot on, but some still need adjustment. As a result, we'll proceed with the durability for low tier, the update of the tech tree, and the implementation of collector's vehicles. We'll talk about those in just a minute. Other changes, including to those shells SPGs, require more thorough review. So, like I said, it's not canceled, but they're going to go back and take another look at it, which is a good thing. Okay, so for the tanks that are going to change, let's go to here. This is Rita's blog. I always say this. I will attempt to remember to put this link down in the description down there. All right. 111 tanks are altered. 78 are going to collectors. 12 changed tier. 5 changed type. I think the most notable one is the T54E. Is it the E1, I believe, which is the auto-loading medium. Tier 9 is now a heavy tank. Probably a good idea since its brother, the whatever Renegade, is also a heavy tank. All right. Is it the Renegade? Yeah, I think it's the Renegade. New tanks. There's actually 3 new tanks in there. So here are, the question I had asked me was, which ones do I need to buy so that they stay in my account? This is the list. KVD5, KV13, the 14-1, the SU artillery. Change is not decided yet, so I don't know. T62A. For Germany, the 3001D, the Jagdpanther 2. For USA, the T21, the Sherman Jumbo. That's interesting. The T71DA. For France, both of the... This one's weird to me. Why? I don't know. For whatever reason, they're removing the 31ER and the 30B. So make sure you have them in your account so you keep them. The Churchill gun carrier. This crushes my heart. This is one of the greatest tanks in the game, and they're going to remove it. But the good news is I have it, and it's 3 marks, so they can't take it from me. Actually, I guess they could, but... The Sherman Firefly? What? Terrible. Make sure you get those. And for China, the 113. That's one of the tier 10s. So probably the big ones are the tier 10 ones. The 113, the 30 Bravo, and the T62A, if you can get to them, you're going to want to try to get those because they are disappearing on you. Then there's the new tech trees. You can see they're very streamlined. Just a quick glance at them. Yes, look at that. Very much simplified to go through. I hate that. I think you're a bit of a muppet if you can't figure them out. But at the same time, I do understand that if you were a brand new player, you'd probably look at them and go, ah. So whatever. The game isn't all about people with lots of experience. So I can hate it while at the same time understanding that a new player is probably going to like it. And ultimately, that's probably good for the game. So wah wah for me. These are the nations and the number of things that change, whether touched. I like this. That's the touched. That's the translation to the Russian word, I guess. How many became collectible? How many became stock? Which means that these are. And I don't know what the difference between collectible and stock are. Maybe, or are these the 14? Yes, okay, these are the 14. When they say stock, these are the 14 here that are simply being removed, which you have to have in your garage to keep. Others are becoming collectible, which you'll be able to get to. I think it's tier 6. Once you get there, then you can go and get those for credits, I think. And I don't know if you have to upgrade them. That's a good question that I don't know as well. But they're not in the tech tree anymore. Okay, so 14 you have to have in your garage. 78 are collectible. That's a lot. 12 changed tiering. And 5 actually changed type, which I'm assuming means they become a heavy or a medium or whatever the case may be. I didn't look at the rest of them. The most interesting one to me was the USA one. Let's see if we can find. Let's see, USA. Change type. Here's a change type. The 3001H, I guess, is becoming from a heavy tank to a TT to ST. CT to TT. I don't know. That's the German designation. I'm not sure what is going on there. But anyway, the 3001H is changing type. The 3001P is changing type. Those are both. Are they both heavy tanks? Nope. They're actually swapping. One's heavy to medium and one's medium to heavy. You can tell that right there. I don't remember which is which in that. I think the 3001H is a heavy. So it's TT's heavy to medium tank to heavy tank. I believe what's going on there. Whatever. I don't know why. Let's see. What else changed type? Here we go. That's the 54E1. It is the E1. Change type. What else? What else? Here we go. The Cavalier is a new tank that changed type. I guess they designed it as something. I don't even know why they have to say it, but I guess they do. And the Type 97 has changed type. It looks like from medium to light tank. Is that right? Yep. Medium to light tank. All right. So there you go. So you can take that. And then here's just all the stuff and every single one of them and what happened to them. Most of them becoming collectible. Some things are becoming a promotional special. Oh, that's what they're calling it. Promotional special for the ones that are being removed. Which means at some point you might be able to get them again. Look, they've got a gold value attached to them. Interesting. So the question then becomes, I think they become reward tanks where you get the crew bonus, but you don't get the credit bonus. So not a premium, but whatever the other category is, reward, like the AE Phase 1, for example, is one of those. And the other tier 10s that were removed, the Foch 155, things like that, the FV, all that good stuff. All right, hopefully I've confused you completely with all of that. All right, towards the end, just a couple shout-outs. Number one, Geodan_1 has been putting together some pretty great videos, just some of my greatest hits and things. So I appreciate him doing that. But, for example, we got this right here.
Wait a minute.
So, anyway, I guess that's my voice doing some kind of crazy. Anyway, check out Geodan's channel if you do that right there. He's got these Guido 1212 somewhat funny moments, which is a perfect actual title to these things here. So, oh look, I got another one. Somewhat funny moments. Part I forgot. I have to watch that. So he's got part 1 through 4. Check it out. Geodan_1 right there. Check it out. Give him a subscribe. He's only got 9, but he's putting out some pretty cool videos. He's also active in the clan, so I do appreciate him and what he's doing, especially with the Discord stuff. That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. All right, there was another shout out. The next one is from Noble Wolf's channel. I recommend you check that out too. He's been adding videos here and there, but he does a lot of really great work with graphics and stuff. If you're looking for something like that, contact Noble Wolf, Noble_Wolf. I think it's the same in the game. I would be willing to bet he would do commissions and things. But check this out. There is some music to it. I may have to mute it because I'll get freaking copyright strikes if I'm using somebody else's stuff without their permission. So I can't monetize. I could do it and I could put it on YouTube. You can do that all you want, but if you try to monetize it, then that's no bueno. But you can check this out. The music's really cool. I'm actually gonna mute it. I loved the music because it totally went with it. But he did this for Pilgrim in the Clan as well. But it just gives you a good idea of the stuff he can do. I'm just gonna fast forward, but check this out. And the music is cool because it's talking about the 600, the Charge of Light Brigade. But this is just a montage of him building this tank. So we'll just kind of go. This is the kind of work that Noble Wolf does, that's absolutely fantastic. That's Boston, by the way. I believe I've been there. I'm pretty sure that's in Boston, right? There's a, yep, I think I've been to that exact place. We'll get to the end right here. Check this out. All right, that's just freaking cool, man. I mean, just outstanding stuff. So, I got to get me one of these. Let's see how the, yeah, there's the boxes of tea flying off the back because Pilgrim's British, and we do give each other grief about the whole day we decide to leave the Empire, and he's flying the flags and stuff, and it's a Centurion. It's just fantastic stuff. All right, and one other, hold on. This one's also, and Noble Wolf has hung this one on his page. Again, I'll try to get you guys the links down below. I'll make sure I get it done for both Noble and Geodan on there. But here's Noble Wolf. He did this for me because of all my bitching about wheeled tanks. So we're just going to watch this because this is great. Unfortunately, again, it's got great music. I recommend you go to his channel, listen to it, because it's it works. Boom, works really nicely with the music. Oh, an angel got its wings. Yeah, let's watch him die. Yes. I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. That's the music that's in there. Oh, you just watch it again. Fantastic. Absolutely. And then more of his artwork. So I just wanted to feature that as well. That's freaking awesome, man. You gotta love that. Absolutely. And then it goes on to see, we got there we go. And you gotta love the animation that he puts in there. That really just adds. I'm gonna pause it, but doesn't that just add to the artwork? You got that little bit of animation on the GIF right there, on the video. That's just so cool. So hey, thanks for that, man. I do appreciate that. Thanks to Geodan. Those are fantastic. Highly recommend you guys go to those channels. Give them a sub. Support guys that are just starting in the creation realm. Right, both of them talented, doing cool things. And it's fun to support people as they get creative, go through the creative process, and figure out how to do these kind of things. That'd be awesome. You know, throw Noble Wolf a commission. Have him. You know what, Noble Wolf? Here you go. I'm gonna publicly out you right now. What you need to do is basically start doing these things for money for people. You really should. I think people would absolutely love to have gifts like these that are personalized and have a little bit of animation to them. Absolutely. I think there has to be a pretty good market at a decent price point for that, man. I don't know. Just throwing that out. I absolutely loved it. That was great. All right. Let's move on. All right. I think we've gone long anyway, so we'll just wrap this thing up. Last thing I'm going to talk about is the Barask rollout was kind of interesting. I do have a review out, and I have one game in it that I show you where it had the old DPG. I say old DPG because when they gave it to us, it was the reload time was about 16, 17 seconds. And the DPG was much higher, at around 2,300, I want to say, 2,300. And now it's around 1,900 because they increased, within about 6, 8, 12 hours or so, they increased the reload time between clips to about 20 seconds or maybe more. You can get it down to 20 or 19 or something like that now. It was a 3-second difference. Obviously, equipment and everything else has a play in that. So it was very interesting how that went down. They rolled it out, kind of came out of nowhere. People knew it was kind of something that was being developed. It had been talked about. And then all of a sudden we get a rollout. It's handed to the CCs. Hey, make content. Oh, by the way, it was a one-day turnaround. So we start working, playing it. Most of us were like, holy cow, this thing is a beast, right? So I don't know why the nerf. I know why the nerf, because it was too good. So that's really ultimately the why. But then the question is, when did they know that? Did they suspect it before? Was it released incorrectly? Was it something that they meant to put in but forgot? Did they look at what was going on immediately with the CCs playing them? Because here's the thing. There are some new NACCs that are unbelievably good at this game. Like, stupid good. All right, 03 Mark Legend. I need to shout out to the rest of them. Who else we got? Just guys that can absolutely play the fool out of this game. I'm trying to find some of them here. Get to the right place. Everybody changed their daggum name, so it's hard for me to. Anyway, it's hard to me to remember. I'm trying to find some of the good, super good ones. Yeah, there's some name shenanigans. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, some of them, Nick Shocks, that's another one. A couple others that are just like top tier, top level players. So when they get a tank from Wargaming, they proceed to 3-mark them in ridiculous, epic fashion and turn the requirements into an absolute shit show. Things like I can't even come close. We're talking tier 8 tanks where they're averaging 3,000, 3,500 DPG. Over a long time, just insane kind of stuff. So I don't know if they're watching those guys going, ooh, that one looks a little too good. Maybe we need to nerf that thing. And I'm not saying just because a really good player does really good, something needs a nerf. That's not the point. So, but it's total speculation. I don't know. It was weird. It was a very strange thing. It was a really quick turnaround for a nerf. So I guess I could attribute some kind of nefarious activity to it. I don't really want to, and I don't know. I have zero evidence of anything. The question just is obvious. It begs the question when you roll something out and then all of a sudden you nerf it like that. Hey guys, what happened? What the heck just happened? I have no idea. Personally, I'm glad it got nerfed. And if it was a case of they just looked at it and went, "Ooh, I think we've really screwed up here, Ron. We need to do something quickly before it becomes a problem, before we sell it to people," which is interesting because they actually sold it to some people really early because it briefly showed up by mistake, I believe, in the shop. I don't know if you knew that. That was pretty funny. And then it disappeared, and some people had managed to buy it already. But anyway, before they really release it to everybody, and then the nerf becomes a big problem. So good on them. Whether it was a mistake, whether it was they realized it early that they had a problem, or I don't know. It would be really interesting to know, but there's no way. I don't think they're ever going to cop up to what exactly went down right there. I just thought it was interesting. You guys might be interested in some of the background information. It didn't really change anything. It's still a good tank, to be quite honest. No shilling required. It's not as good as it was with 300 more DPG or DPM, and a faster reload rate. But it's still, look at what it's doing. People are doing well in it. I would say it's even still at the top, bordering on slightly OP at tier. But I don't think it's gross enough that it requires any kind of real nerfing or anything like that. So there you go. All right, that is enough yappity yapping. Just about done with the coffee right here. Thanks to the guys who did several of those things. The shout out, like I said, to Geodan and to Noble Wolf, doing great things in the clan, doing great things out there for tankers. I'm just gonna go back to it, Noble Wolf, man. You need to. I really think you need to offer that out and see if people want some of that, because I know I would. It's freaking cool. In fact, I think I'm going to need an F-15 firing a missile. I think that's going to be my commission. I think I'm going to need an F-15. How do I somehow see? This is where I need an artist like Noble Wolf. I need somehow to mix an F-15 and tank motif. I don't know how that works exactly. Well, while I contemplate that and practice my opening, we'll let you guys get back to your Sunday. Hey guys, I'm Guido, Pilot to the Stars, mentor extraordinaire, and all-around good guy. Because I said so. And you're here to listen, laugh, cry, and enjoy. I hope you did 3 of those things. Unless you were crying tears of laughter. But that's all I've got. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.